Hi everyone, happy Friday. Here's some of us heading your way tonight. Your news at 9. Safest bet this year was to shop online for Black Friday deals, but social distancing and masks still brought those shoppers outside for the traditional way to shop.
As online shopping becomes even more prevalent because of the pandemic, Pittsburgh residents make it a point to shop local this Black Friday. I'm Zach Dodge with the story.
Also going to get some timely reminders from firefighters about Christmas tree safety.
A major coronavirus vaccine candidate admits to a big error in its large-scale study as the new surge of COVID wears on. I'm Casey Stiegel. The latest from Texas coming up.
Doug Hedia's weather. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Aubie. The crowds and traffic in many parts of the 4 states, just about the only thing different this year for Black Friday was social distancing and those mask requirements. Still busy this year at many stores. Earlier today, we caught up with shoppers searching for deals. We found some people over at Best Buy in Joplin who thought this year's Black Friday shopping was still appealing.
You know, it's a balancing act. You know, it's tough sometimes because, you know, you got to be safe, but you don't want these things to die out, you know, because, you know, just the way life is, you know, you don't know what the future holds.
Some shoppers say it seems stores didn't advertise their in-store Black Friday deals as much this year for obvious reasons, of course. Black Friday, of course, is a tradition for many people, but could the pandemic here in 2020 permanently change the way shoppers find deals after Thanksgiving for years to come? KOAM's Zach Dodge explains.
Marion Eck hits up the Meadowbrook Mall, killing some time while she's closer to home from college at MU.
And I got a couple of things I didn't expect to get.
And even though she didn't go with anything specific on her mind, she was strategic in her planning.
I kind of hope that because most people are doing online, they might not have attacked the stores as much.
Black Friday is normally one of the most hectic days of the year, with hundreds of shoppers swarming stores as early as 5 a.m. to get the best deals. But that shift to online shopping this year among retailers like Walmart and Target has many experts thinking Black Friday will never look the same. Coming into the biggest shopping day of the year, the National Retail Federation estimated that sales would increase by around 5% over what was seen in 2019, with 30% of that growth coming from cyber deals.
I think that's a good idea too. I mean, I've shopped for some of my things online and then you can avoid, you know, being in contact with other people.
But several in Pittsburgh have a different opinion because there's just something special about being there in person and supporting the people in our own communities.
So this is fun because it's warm in here and we can walk. But downtown is fun too because it's all local shops and that's what we like.
I think it is important, especially for smaller businesses, especially like in this area. So that's why I come out and support. And plus, there's less people, of course, and everything. I don't want to give all my money to the big retailers all the time.
In Pittsburgh, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
National Retail Federation expects online sales this shopping weekend to exceed $200 billion nationwide. That brings us to tonight's KOAM News Now Instant poll. Tonight we're asking, do you think this pandemic is going to permanently change the way you do Black Friday shopping? Go ahead and vote on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote, or by using our app on your mobile devices. Results update instantly in our broadcast. We're going to check back on those results periodically during tonight's show. However you do your Black Friday shopping, please don't forget to pick up a toy for the KOAM Toy Box campaign. Donations help kids in need right here in the 4 states. The campaign is officially underway. This year, we, like a lot of other folks, are changing some things up. If you plan on dropping off toys here at the station, you're going to notice some changes to the way we're accepting them to maximize social distancing. And if you're watching our telethons at home, you're going to notice a change at our phone banks.
One thing that will be totally different is our Toy Box Tuesday telethons will be at remote locations. They won't be in the studio so that we can better social distance and be safe.
Our first Toy Box Tuesday telethon is next Tuesday. Hey Doug! Doug Eddy joins us now with our first look at weather. Happy Friday to you and another gorgeous day.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good day. A little bit cooler than what we had yesterday, but fantastic. 35 this morning, 55 was our afternoon high. And we did have plenty of sunshine, so it turned out to be a great day. We still have clear skies for us right now, as all the clouds that we had this morning are pretty much gone. We are watching a storm system back across the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas and then into New Mexico, and this will start to affect us by the time we head into tomorrow night and Sunday. Temperatures, though, they're kind of cold. Most of us into the mid to upper 30s. Will drop back near 30 later on tonight. Of course, we're going to look at the weekend here in just a bit.
Chilly. All right, Doug, thank you. One of the biggest shopping days of the year looks much different than in years past. Many shoppers are choosing to opt for online sales instead of crowded stores this Black Friday, but there are some, as we just met a few seconds ago, who ventured out to stores. Fox News correspondent Garrett Tenney has a national look.
It's a tradition. We've done it every year for as long as I can remember.
The holiday shopping season officially kicked off on Friday, but as new COVID-19 infections surge nationwide, long lines in crowded stores were a thing of the past. Many shoppers heeding warnings from public health officials to shop online.
If you're going to go out, maybe consider if the store has what we call curbside pickup. You want to avoid crowds and congregation. You want to avoid confined spaces.
Those small lines did form outside some locations. This father and son camped outside a GameStop for 2 nights, hoping to get a PlayStation 5.
It's been long, I don't know about the next one if we do it again.
Stores enforced social distancing in line and provided folks with hand sanitizer. Shoppers say they took their own precautions by opting for outdoor retailers and limiting shopping time by purchasing just a few items.
It was a lot better coming in because sometimes you just need to see the TV and then it helps you out.
Stores in hotspot areas like Michigan and New Jersey were forced to reduce capacity, driving more customers to those online sales. Retailers hoping this holiday season can help them bounce back from a turbulent 2020.
I started giving Black Friday specials sometime in early October, and I've been doing it now for the last 7 weekends.
The National Retail Federation says as many as 60% of consumers had already started their holiday shopping by November. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
All right, some reminders for Christmas tree safety this year. If you're using a real Christmas tree, you prefer that genuine smell, make sure it's well watered and not dry. There should be no heating sources around the tree. Also, use proper indoor lights with no burnt out bulbs.
It's not wise to run that when you're not home. So when you're not home or you go to bed, making sure they go ahead and turn off. And then I would periodically check them, make sure it's not getting too hot around the needles of the tree.
Firefighters also say make sure your home's chimney is clean. That's, of course, if you even have a chimney. Jasper County Health Department in Missouri is reporting 4 more COVID-19 related deaths. Again, Jasper County, the health department there says the patients were all men, each in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. The 4 latest deaths brings the Jasper County total to 75. It's been almost a year of lockdowns and restrictions, and the coronavirus outbreak still isn't contained. Now healthcare systems are starting to feel the strain again, while possible vaccine complications are announced. Fox News correspondent Casey Stiegel has more from Arlington, Texas.
Almost 13 million confirmed cases in the United States, and this new COVID surge is spreading quickly. The 7-day average for new cases now close to 170,000. Hospitalizations are spiraling out of control as well, with more than 90,000, a new record for the 16th day in a row. Here in Texas, a number of smaller healthcare systems now say they're no longer able to send acute cases to bigger hospitals.
As they start to get overwhelmed, there's a trickle-down effect to medium-sized hospitals, small hospitals, that then they can't get patients out.
Of course, those doctors are still hoping a vaccine, expected by the middle of next month, will finally end the pandemic. But one of the leading candidates, AstraZeneca, is now facing likely delays in FDA approval after they reported a number of trial volunteers were given a lower dose of the vaccine than intended.
The vaccine still looks like it's very safe and very effective. What it means is we need to take more time with it.
Meanwhile, with a major spike expected after the holidays, dozens of states are now putting new restrictions in place, including New York, the former epicenter of the U.S. outbreak, where restaurants and other businesses are finding creative ways to get customers through their doors.
We're charging $50 for a rapid antigen COVID test, The $50 includes a glass of champagne.
Officials here in Texas say that the testing positivity rate has climbed back to 10%, with the daily average tripling in just the last month. That's the latest from Arlington, Texas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
More sad news for workers at the happiest place on earth, usually in a way. The Walt Disney Company announcing it's cutting 4,000 more jobs in 2021. That brings the total number of layoffs to 32,000 due to this coronavirus pandemic. Disney says the new round of job cuts mostly affect workers in the Disney parks, experiences, and products division in both California and Florida. The company says it's taken a huge hit since this pandemic started, with an estimated loss of nearly $7.5 billion from its full year operating income. Disney says the additional layoffs are expected in the first half of 2021. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time to honor one of our four-state heroes. Everett Franklin served in the U.S. Navy from 1952 to 1960. We are proud to thank Everett Franklin, a native of Yates Center, Kansas. He is tonight's four-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast a bit later. President Trump discussing when he would concede to Joe Biden. Also, he has a message to his supporters.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good day for us today. We had some clouds. We had the fog last night, and then the fog burnt off, and it actually turned out to be a pretty good day for us today, as we saw mostly sunny skies. Great time-lapse Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. This is on the outskirts of Seneca, Missouri, but you can see those sunny skies, and still we have the clear skies for us out there. Now, it is going to be cold tonight, but tomorrow looks pretty good. We have rain chances late tomorrow night and into Sunday, and even some rain and snow chances by the middle of next week. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Temps kind of cold. Most of us low to mid-30s, and then once you get in our southern counties, you're still into the 40s. So we have about a 7-8 degree spread across the four-state area. And it was kind of windy earlier today. We had those north winds at about 10 to 15. The winds have thankfully diminished just a bit. You can see the flag's not really even blowing at all at our station on the Kansas side. 37 right now, pretty much calm winds in Joplin. Humidity is at 76%, so the humidity is a little bit lower. Clear skies, though. Not much going on. It looks like we're going to have a quiet night. We had a weak little system that passed by last night, gave us a few sprinkles late, but you can see most of the rain along the Gulf Coast. And then this little guy out across New Mexico, rolling into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Very weak wave. You can see the spin in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is going to move right over us tomorrow night into Sunday, and it will give us chances for at least a few showers across the region. I think tonight's going to be fine. It's just going to be cold. We'll drop back near 30. Pretty much clear skies. And then we're going to warm up tomorrow, mid-50s again. We'll have plenty of sunshine in the morning, and then clouds will start to increase during the afternoon. And then by evening, we should have cloudy skies. 30 to start, 49 by noon, high temp at 54. We're going to have those south winds at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, clouds continue to increase until about midnight, and then they'll thicken up even a little bit more. And then we should get a few random showers trying to get in here late tomorrow night. And then into Sunday morning, I think we'll have some scattered little light showers. Any showers that we do see should be out of here by mid-afternoon on Sunday. You can see the storm system kind of wraps up, heads away from us, but on the backside, we cool down for Monday. So even though we'll have sunshine, it's going to be pretty cold. And then we'll watch another system roll in by next Wednesday into Thursday. You can see a little twist out across central Kansas. If this system can get enough moisture, we should get chances for rain and snow, but we're going to have to watch and see if we can get any moisture within this system. So something we'll keep our eyes on over the next few days. 30 tonight, 54 tomorrow. Some scattered showers tomorrow night into Sunday morning. 45, cooler on Monday, overnight lows down into the 20s. And then those chances for a little bit of rain, maybe mixing with some snow by next Wednesday and Thursday. Been a much cooler week over the next week, but at least tomorrow looks pretty good.
Yeah, cooler and usual, cooler at the nighttime, which is something you'd expect, right?
Yeah, and I mean, gosh, can you believe that we're almost in December?
No.
Which is crazy.
It's gone by fast. Tell Katie, we'll catch you a little bit. Thank you so much. Coming up, President Trump talks concession and alleged continued voter corruption. A top Iranian nuclear scientist is believed to have been assassinated. Iran state media reporting that the scientist was killed Friday in an attack outside the capital, Tehran. He is said to be responsible for developing the country's military nuclear program. The attackers reportedly targeted the scientist using a car bomb and machine guns. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. However, Iranian media noted the interest that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had previously shown in this scientist. President Trump discussing the possible time frame of conceding to now President-elect Joe Biden. Fox's Matt Napolitano has more on the president still fighting the election results ahead of Inauguration Day.
A rare moment for President Trump after a Thanksgiving address to the military. The commander-in-chief sitting down to answer questions for the first time since the election on November 3rd.
The numbers are false. The numbers are corrupt. It was a rigged election, 100%.
But the question of formally conceding to President-elect Joe Biden got dicey.
It's going to be a very hard thing to concede because we know there was massive fraud.
When further pressed about conceding, the president snapped.
Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
Before telling the nation he will eventually leave the White House.
So if the Electoral College does elect President-elect Joe Biden, are you not going to leave this building?
Just so you, certainly I will.
But the president will continue to challenge the election results on the road. He's heading to Georgia this weekend to campaign for several Republican candidates while also maintaining support from his own base.
I just want to tell my people, don't be disappointed yet because this race is far from over.
And as coronavirus cases surge across the country, President Trump says a vaccine will be arriving before Christmas.
The vaccines are being delivered literally. It'll start next week and the week after.
The president says vaccines will first be administered to frontline workers, seniors, and doctors. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
In tonight's KOAM News Now Instant Poll, we are asking, do you think this pandemic will permanently change the way you do Black Friday shopping? You can vote at KOAMNewsNow.com/vote or on the KOAM News Now mobile app. Here are some results so far. The majority of you say, it's not going to change. Again, you can vote on our website, KOAMNewsNow.com/vote, or by using your mobile device. Just ahead, staying active during an especially challenging time.
The World Health Organization says fitness is crucial during the pandemic. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer. More on how you can stay in shape in the midst of rising COVID cases coming up.
The coronavirus pandemic could be causing another major health crisis. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer has more on why the World Health Organization says folks across the country need to start increasing their activity.
At a time when lockdowns and quarantines are forcing many to stay home, it can be difficult to maintain an active lifestyle. But the World Health Organization is sounding the alarm, encouraging folks to get up and move or face dangerous consequences.
We run the risk of creating another pandemic of ill health as a result of sedentary behavior.
Health officials recommend adults of all ages get a minimum of 150 minutes of, quote, vigorous physical activity per week. That's about 22 minutes a day. As for kids and teenagers, they need even more, at least an hour of exercise every day.
Increasing physical activity not only helps prevent and manage heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer, it also reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety.
According to the WHO, being sedentary doesn't just hurt your body, it can also have negative impacts on the economy.
In 2016, estimates highlighted that inactivity costs the health system about $54 billion in health care and costs another $14 billion in lost productivity.
Officials say there's no time like the present to start moving more, adding current rates of inactivity are already too high.
1 in 4 adults and a staggering 80% of adolescents don't do enough physical activity.
And when it comes to staying fit inside the home, experts recommend simple activities like walking up and down stairs, using furniture as exercise equipment, and walking around outside. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
All right, so you're thinking about going scuba diving anytime soon, but are afraid of sharks in the ocean, might want to check out the world's deepest pool. Gonna check this one out when we come back. Still time to vote. On tonight's KOAM News Now is to poll the question tonight. Do you think this pandemic going on is going to permanently change the way you do Black Friday shopping? Earlier we had some stories about how this could be changing things for years to come, even when the pandemic is over. Remember, you can vote on our website, komnewsnow.com/vote, or by using our app on your mobile phone. We're going to have another look at the results so far here in a few minutes. All right, how low can you go? Test it out at the world's deepest pool in Poland. Isn't that something? It's measuring in at 147 feet deep. It's called Deep Spot. It's in a small Polish town near Warsaw, currently holding the title of world's deepest pool, created for divers. Deep Spot is open for people from all experience levels, they say, featuring, as we're seeing, concrete tunnels made to look like the ocean, and an underwater viewing tube for visitors who prefer to keep their heads above the water. You know, I don't want anything to do with this. Deep Spot officially opened to the public last weekend, but won't hold its record for long. Get this. An even deeper diving pool is currently being built in Colchester, England. This one's said to reach 164 feet. The limit is always being pushed, right? Always being pushed. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Medical marijuana dispensary in Ottawa County, Oklahoma says the pandemic has not slowed down medical marijuana sales. They'll explain why coming up.
Going to visit a Christmas tree farm that's opened for this season. Also,
2020 has been hard for all, but that's not stopping the big jolly man from keeping things magical. I'm Lauren Blanchard. I'll show you how Santa is making some changes this year, coming up.
analysts say the medical marijuana industry continues to boom in Oklahoma, and one Ottawa County dispensary says the pandemic hasn't hurt them like it has so many other businesses. KOAM's Mike Mahoney found out why.
A new Politico article says that Oklahoma is now the biggest medical marijuana market in the country on a per capita basis, with almost 10% of the state's population possessing legal cannabis cards. And the staff at the Higher Health Dispensary in Afton agrees that business is booming.
It definitely grows because we have our just regulars from in-state, but we also have an out-of-state program where we offer store credits.
The coronavirus has been devastating to businesses across the globe, but that doesn't include this dispensary, and its employees think they know why.
COVID's not taking people's problems and pain away, so people still need their medication. So yeah, I mean, we're still seeing a steady flow, even with the pandemic going on.
The cannabis seems to really help a lot of people that are going through, these stressful times during COVID.
The coronavirus may not have affected this dispensary's bottom line, but it has changed the way they do business. Plexiglass shielding protects employees, the number of guests allowed inside is limited, and visitors are encouraged to mask up and stay 6 feet apart. But those precautions don't seem to be bringing anyone visiting the Higher Health Dispensary down.
That's one of the best feelings, is helping people out, sending them out the door with a smile on their face and knowing they got the product that's going to help them deal with whatever they've got hurting going on.
In Afton, Oklahoma, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
The Higher Health Dispensary held a Black Friday sale today, just like so many other businesses. Well, now that Thanksgiving is over, we're still full though, right? But Thanksgiving is over. Lots of people are now getting into the Christmas spirit. We sent KOAM photojournalist Daniel Camp over to the Bridgestone Christmas Tree Farm.
I don't know, kind of just picking it out is more fun. Actually got to cut down a tree and say we cut it down so we can have the experience of doing it and just to where we can tell everyone, and so we just had the experience.
I'd say it's about 50-50 on the people that cut down a tree versus the people that just want to pre-cut. It's a great feeling to see the little kids come out and they get to run around and pick out their perfect tree. Even though it might not be perfect to mom and dad, it's perfect to the little ones, and that's what's important.
I get to be with my family. We get to just hang out and take as long as we want.
Every year we try to offer something for the families to come out and look forward to. We've got the gift shop where they can browse and buy Christmas items. So it's a family environment that we're trying to instill in them to come back year after year.
This is going to be a tradition that I carry on with my family.
We specialize in creating those memories for families that come out and get a live tree and start the tradition of getting that live tree every year. So it's neat to see them come out every year.
Bridgestone Christmas Tree Farm is on County Lane 251 at Webb City, Missouri. As the weather turns frosty and COVID-19 cases are on the rise, it's put a chill on holiday traditions for many of us that usually draw massive crowds, including visits with Father Christmas. Santa Claus is now adapting how he spreads cheer without the germs. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard shows us this story.
Hey buddy, would you like to get a picture?
Santa up in the North Pole has gone distanced and digital.
Give a loud ho ho ho!
To make sure the holiday season doesn't go south.
Getting close to Christmas and I'm gonna do as well as I can do.
For Santa and those planning Santa experiences, 2020 has required people and kids to adapt to keep things safe but also magical. For Santa at Tyson's Corner Center in Virginia this year, there may be no hugs. You have to talk toys through a mask, and there's a lot of hand sanitizer. But that Santa says the experience is still special for kids.
One more.
Mall Santa usually draws thousands of families. Todd Putt with Tyson's Corner Center believes over the 2020 Christmas season, there will still be many who want a photo with Kris Kringle.
Let me see you smiling through the lines.
Even if it looks a little different this year.
People really this year are looking for an experience that feels like normal. So by providing Santa, we think we're able to do that.
For those not comfortable with in-person visits, there's Santa Joe and his team of hundreds of Santas at itstherealsanta.com.
Technology, that's helping at least give us all a better chance at sharing some of the joy.
After a little guidance from parents, the Santa records a personalized video for kids to watch.
I hear that your friends Bear and Violet miss you very much.
Santa Joe says nothing can replace hugs, but that kids can adapt to this new type of visit.
This is normal to them. This is just the way things are.
NORAD will still be tracking Santa as he makes his way across the globe, though with fewer volunteers this year. And in an interview, health expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says Santa is immune to COVID-19 and he cannot spread it. Good thing, because at well over 1,700 years old and with a diet of mostly cookies, he's probably in the higher risk group.
See you later.
Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Just in case you're wondering, that story had the real Santa Claus in it. We saw Santa several times, but it was the real Santa in each time, I guarantee it. In tonight's KOAM News Now Instant Poll question, we asked you, do you think this pandemic is going to permanently change the way you do Black Friday shopping? Here are the results. 72% of you said no, it's not going to change. 28% of you said yes. At least a few things are going to change because of this pandemic. Thanks everyone who voted. A bit later, more time at home working in front of those computer screens and more people complaining about eye issues.
Well, we finally made it through the work week. A lot of people had a very short work week with, of course, Thanksgiving and Black Friday for us today. But the week is done, heading into the weekend. And we had a nice day today. It was a little bit cooler than what we had on Thanksgiving as our high temps into the mid-50s, but still pretty good. You can see plenty of sunshine. This is our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort tower cam for you. Nice shot of the sun setting there and still pretty much clear skies across the region. All right, heading into the weekend. Tomorrow looks great. We are going to get some clouds, could get a few random showers tomorrow night into Sunday morning. Rain and snow chances the middle of next week. You can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Kind of cool. 32 in Fort Scott, Pittsburgh 31, 36 in Monette, but a little bit warmer once you get into northeastern Oklahoma, 41 in Miami, even Anderson and Bella Vista still hanging on at 40 degrees. But eventually, we're going to all drop back upper 20s to near 30 later on tonight. At least the winds have diminished a bit. We have a northeasterly wind, kind of light, at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 37, pressure is rising. Humidity is 76%. And we have pretty much clear skies. Not much is going on here. We had a weak little wave that passed by last night. It gave us some clouds, gave us some fog, even a couple sprinkles. But this is rolling across southeastern parts of the U.S. Let's move west. You can see this small little complex of snow and a little bit of rain as you work out through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. This is a weak upper level wave, and it's going to rotate on top of us as we head into Saturday night and Sunday. So what that will do is give us some clouds and a few random showers. Tonight, clear skies, just cold. We'll drop back near 30. Plenty of sunshine in the morning, and then these mid and upper level clouds will start to increase during the afternoon. But majority of tomorrow, it looks pretty good. 30 to start, 49 by noon, high temp right around 54. We're going to have those south winds at about 5 to 10. It looks pretty good. These clouds continue to increase tomorrow evening into the overnight hours. I think after midnight, we'll start to get a little bit of drizzle, and we'll have some light, random, scattered showers into Sunday morning and a few light, random showers as we head into Sunday afternoon. Not a big deal. Most of the rain is going to stay south of the region, but still something we'll watch. As this system rotates out, behind it, we get strong northerly winds, and this is going to cool us down. So Monday into Tuesday, a little bit cooler. Then we're going to watch our next system. It will drop in by the time we head into Wednesday. You can see that little twist out across central Kansas. If this system can get some moisture, it's going to struggle to get the moisture, but if it can do it, we'll get some rain, switching over to a little bit of snow as we head into Thursday morning. So that's the next thing we'll focus on once we get rid of this weekend system moving by tomorrow night. 54 tomorrow, 50 on Sunday, cooler on Monday, overnight lows into the 20s, back to 52 Tuesday, and then cooling down again on Wednesday and Thursday.
As you said, pretty good forecast.
Yeah, overall, not bad.
Doug Hetty, thanks so much as always. Coming up, the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, on this weekend's game against Tampa Bay. The Chiefs are 9-1 through their first 10 games of the season. This weekend, the Chiefs hit the road to Tampa Bay to face Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. For more on Sunday's matchup, it's time to hear from the voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, in this week's Minute with Mitch.
This week, the Chiefs, champions of Super Bowl 54, headed to the site of Super Bowl 55, Tampa, Florida, in a showdown with the Buccaneers. Now, no matter who's quarterbacking the Bucs, the key to this game and the rest of the season for the Chiefs' defense is something that defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo needs in every game. That's an identity and a mindset. His mantra of build a wall, set the edge, and track the hip are all designed to slow down or stop any opponent's running game. And we've seen it work and not work. Think of last week. We all love sacks, but the Frank Clarkses, the Chris Joneses, and everyone else on the Chiefs' defensive front have to do first things first, and that's build a wall, set the edge, and track the hip, and limit the rushing yards. It's also said, stop the run and have some fun to get to Super Bowl 55 on this Minute with Mitch. The Minute with Mitch is brought to you by Como Jewelry. Every day's game day, Como Jewelry, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
Sunday's game is going to kick off at 3:25 on our sister station, KOAM. Back with more news after this. Extra screen time is just part of the new norm, with many people forced to telecommunicate because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But that extra screen time has led to more people complaining about their eye health. Fox's Jessica Formoso has some tips on how to keep your eyes healthy.
It's no secret that being in front of a screen for a long period of time can strain your eyes, but now many more people are complaining about their eye health due to all the extra screen time during the pandemic.
When we're on a computer in general, we're focusing so intently on what we're doing that subconsciously we're reducing our blink rate.
Ophthalmologist Dr. Jules Winokur says dry eye is one of the biggest complaints he is hearing from patients.
So I've been seeing this for years, even before the pandemic. People who spend a lot of time doing visually demanding things on the computer often have this issue, but it's probably affecting more people now since the pandemic started. And because so much of our lives now are on a computer.
The doctor says we are reducing our blink rate when using screens, reading, or scrolling through a computer, which can cause the eyes to dry out.
So if we're normally supposed to blink every, 5 or 6 seconds, that's going to double when we're really paying attention to what we're doing on the computer.
Blinking, he says, is important because it spreads the tears over the eyes. And when that isn't happening, the tears are evaporating, which leads to dryness, causing your eyes to itch, burn, feel like there is some grit or sand in them, and sometimes even over tearing.
Well, I don't think it's going to cause any long-term consequence. I think people do suffer with this, and there are things that can be done to help.
Dr. Winokur says take a 15-30-minute break, step away from your computer, and do something else that is not so visually intensive. And if you don't want to run out to see a doctor, Dr. Winokur says just go to your local pharmacy and pick up artificial teardrops, which are over the counter. I'm Jessica Formoso, Fox 5 News.
All right, gonna wrap up our night talking to the man who's become internet famous after rescuing a dog from an alligator. Earlier in the week, we had a quick blurb about this. The Florida man seen on video pulling a puppy from the jaws of a gator is now speaking out. Richard Wilbanks now sharing how his pup is doing and what it's like to be internet famous. Fox's Charles Belay has this story.
It was not a typical Sunday morning in Southwest Florida.
That Sunday morning is now a viral sensation. Richard Wilbanks walking his dog in Estero when a gator attacks.
You know, he had Gunner in a vice grip, and I just pried his mouth open, which was very difficult, and, you know, got Gunner out of his mouth, and then I had to get my hands out of his mouth.
A big question. Why was the camera rolling in the first place?
We have 17 cameras placed across 15 different properties that are located in 3 different communities in Estero, Florida, that are right on the interface of really wild habitat.
Meredith Budd is the regional policy director at the Florida Wildlife Federation. They're working on a project called Sharing the Landscape, keeping a close eye on areas where people live close to nature.
The purpose is to elevate the conversation about how humans and wildlife inherently share the same landscape.
They called us up and said, "You won't believe what we have a video of." And I said, "Well, I got a good idea of what it may be."
With more funding, there could be a chance for you to volunteer to have one of these cameras put in your backyard.
The Orlando area does have a large bear population that does frequent some residential communities, and that's a location where we certainly would like to get cameras set up and to be able to tell that story as well.
Both Gunner and Wilbanks are okay. Now, with a good story to tell, Wilbanks says he's noticed a common theme when people tell him about the video.
Everybody that has seen the video has commented and said, "My gosh, he's still got a cigar in his mouth."
Charles Belay, Fox 35 News.
Goodness gracious, as a dog lover myself, that's difficult to watch, but there's a good ending, right? That's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Gonna leave you, speaking of dogs, with a video of a dog riding a motorcycle in the Philippines, because it's 2020. That's what dogs do now, don't you know? Have a great, safe weekend. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.